We are red. Red is on. 4:45.
Okay.
Okay, today being July 27th, year 2017, the time is, oh look at that, it is 4:45. Let this mean that the Board of Selectmen now come to order and everybody's here, John. No traffic?
Started out a little rough, but cleared right out.
Nice.
Yeah. Yes.
Alright, shall we stand and do the pledge of allegiance, please?
Oh, that looks much better, Gail. That was very nice.
It is nice. I pledge allegiance to the
The
flag
flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Are they Sydney's?
Need to either adjust the chief's knee or his garments, a little bit out of sync.
Hi.
So you must be the new guy.
I'm the new guy.
I can tell. Hi, welcome.
Nice to
I'm
meet
Joyce Fullweiler. Nice to meet you.
Hi.
Yeah, we'll get together later, so we'll do all your paperwork
Okay.
and insurance and stuff. But welcome.
Nice to meet you all.
Hi, I'm Ashley.
Hi, Chris.
Nice to meet you.
John Scanlon.
That was a mistake.
Good
to see you again.
Hey, Chris. Nice to see you again.
Alright, first thing we got on here is conservation deed. I just heard from Chuck Mitchell before he came down. And this is not the final document because you'll see it's got the hand corrections in it. Excuse me.
But if we're okay with the hand corrections, they can have Scott insert them.
Right, that's
We'll
the
be all
idea.
set.
So if you want to read through these, and next week, or actually it'd be nice
I'm
tonight
fine
if
with
we
it.
could, I'm not.
You know?
If we could look through these, before the meeting, so we'll come back to it. And make whatever changes we need.
Yeah, the only changes from the original one that the Conservation Commission had reviewed and approved with Attorney McGuffin was on page 2. At the bottom, you'll see that's a scrivener's error, and that selectmen and governing body are the same. So to delete the governing body. And the other one is on page 3, number 3. After where it says to exceed a dimension of 10 square feet and posted no hunting signs.
So page,
There should be no signage erected on premises. And then at the end of it, we're posting signs.
It says with the exception,
it didn't have an exception for no hunting signs, so I thought it should,
yeah,
since we weren't gonna have no hunting. And on the one on page 2, I thought we should take out selectmen and put leave in governing bodies, because it's much more explicit. I mean, selectmen could meet 2 or 3, but we know it takes a board.
So who's going to be responsible for the no hunting signs?
Town, conservation,
Every 50 feet on every boundary?
it's no more than 100 feet.
Okay, well, no more than 100 feet on every boundary. You can't leave the back open.
right.
Well, so you don't have to post a property, but if you want to, and correct me if I'm wrong, Chief, if you want to charge them criminally, you need to post it.
Well, on a wildlife corridor, I would really like to post it.
I would, and I don't mind helping posting it.
Me
Did
either.
you read the email from one of the conservation commissioners? I know you don't agree with him.
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Well, no,
We go back to the,
Chuck said that it was the consensus of the Conservation Commission to have it posted.
Consensus, but
They didn't
there's
take a
one
vote, I know, but
passed.
they didn't vote.
Well, as a selectman, turning this over to the Conservation Commission, I won't do it unless there's nothing. I mean, a wildlife corridor, we might as well just line them up and start shooting them. Let's put a salt lick out there, then we'll shoot it, it's even better.
this is the second
It's
time
crazy.
in 9 years I'm agreeing with Catherine.
All right, and if you have a problem out there, how are you gonna fix it? If there's no hunting,
I don't think that little piece of land
okay,
in the past thousands of years it's been there hasn't been a problem, and since when were we, 1876? 1970s, and whenever this town was created, there hasn't been a problem.
So are there exceptions for, say, rabid animals, or do we have to wait for them to leave the corridor before you can put them down?
No,
If it's-
that's
no.
exigent circumstances.
Okay.
That would be something
Probably
that,
still should.
Fishing games even
Okay.
allows that.
yeah. Worst comes to worst, I go out there with my bow, I'll take
Can-
them out. You
can
don't
we
have to
go
worry about
back
a
to-
shotgun.
Now that we've squared that away, can we go back to page 2? I want Catherine to clarify what it is she wanted in the shall be binding in perpetuity upon current governing body, period.
Just what it was, I think, the Tilton
I
governing
would
body.
leave out upon current, leave out and future selectmen, upon current planning boards, zoning boards, and upon the Tilton governing body. Put that in, leave that in.
And leave this in.
So you're taking out future?
I would leave off and future selectmen, so that it reads, binding in perpetuity upon current planning boards, zoning boards, and then I leave in, and upon the Tilton governing body. There was some confusion, a conservation member on which was the governing body, which was the legislative body. I let him know.
You got that, Joyce? Good.
Just leave current in there? Is that current as for
Well,
the date
it-
of this easement, or is that current for,
The planning board at the time, current planning board.
So you are leaving the
You
word
don't.
current in?
I don't know quite, I can go either way, I don't really know why it's in there, because in perpetuity upon planning boards, zoning boards, until the governing body is the same thing,
Mhm.
whether it's now, then, or later.
current makes it a little confusing whether or not it would be applying to the date of the easement or the date that you read this.
That's a good point, let's take it out, what do everybody think? Sure. Take out
Just
current.
anything.
Upon planning boards, zoning boards, and Tilton governing body.
In perpetuity upon planning boards, zoning boards, and upon the Tilton governing body.
You don't need that second upon.
And Tilton governing body.
You don't need the second one.
We don't need the second one.
But I would advise reading it, pretty thoroughly. The beginning language is, then's continuing. What it is, but the rest of it I would.
And it's hard because the information that we need is all in Florida. Yeah.
Four paragraphs to it.
With the correction.
I don't see anything else.
And I did include in your copy an email from Attorney McGuffin saying that it would be a good idea to have another warrant article at the 2018 town meeting
Seal it up nice
to
and tight.
ratify.
So do we need a motion to do this, or do we just sign it?
I'd like to make a motion to accept it,
Alright.
as long as the condition of no hunting and no trapping stays.
So I'll make the motion that we accept the conservation easement with the corrections specified on page 2 and on page 3 with the no hunting sign posted.
Could you add, I'll make a second for discussion purposes. Could you add, and that the condition that there should be no hunting or trapping on said parcel remains?
You want no hunting and trapping?
So it says, there should be no hunting or trapping on said parcel. I just don't want, after we
Oh.
turn it over, I don't want somebody to be able to remove them.
I'll amend my motion to say no hunting or trapping.
On what page?
That's on
Page
paragraph
2.
It's already on paragraph 2.
Three.
Page 3 on,
I mean,
Two.
paragraph 2.
That the condition, there shall be no hunting or trapping on said parcel remains a condition. Amanda?
Do we
Yes.
reference trapping?
Yes.
so I'm amending my motion to say that the condition of this easement remains, there shall be no hunting or trapping on said parcel.
All right, and where do you want to put, why are you sticking it?
That's already there in the two, the last sentence.
Yeah, there shall no be
We're not
hunting or
adding,
trapping on
adding.
said-
We're not adding it, we're saying
the
a condition of the motion, the condition of approving this is that it remains in
Oh,
here.
this is your motion?
Yes.
Okay, sorry.
That it remains a condition.
That's
Right
correct.
now, the selectmen are in control of this property. We're about to turn it over to somebody else.
Got it.
So we just made strings attached.
And we're keeping Bambi safe,
That's right.
till
you
it gets
can
to
hit-
Buffalo
So you can
Park.
hit Bambi with your car.
Any more discussion on the motion on the table? Does everybody understand the motion? All those in favor of the motion on the table, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries, all right. So next week, you'll have the revisions made in a document for us to sign for the Conservation Commission.
Yes.
Will you let the chairman know that we approved it with those conditions? Thank you. Are you ready? Is anybody else coming?
Chris, you
Get my little laptop.
it's coming.
We can do some minutes. Okay, all right. Shall we look at the minutes of Thursday, July 20th? Please. On the first page, board agreed to allow him to use a pickup. Can we just add town pickup?
I know the address.
On the second page, Bittern Lane, I explained AOT for Bittern Lane had gone through the process. It actually, I explained that it had gone through an incorrect process. On the rest of the paragraph, doesn't support that.
Yes, we have
AOT is, the application, it is required that they provide proof that the governing body received it, and that part was not done. It was sent to, by certified mail to the land use office, to Doris's office.
No, that's fine.
And that,
I want to live some more. Enjoy life.
yeah, and it doesn't say in here that I when I contacted DES, Grace Andrews said that she would take care of that, straightening out the process at her office at DES. So if you could just, with few words or less, just kind of put that in there.
On page 2.
Don't pick them.
On page 2, we're under Selectman Constantino, volunteers needed for the Wednesday night music group. Any help would be appreciated. It should be tied in with the fundraiser for the senior center combined with, combined with Every Child is Ours on Wednesday, August 9th, the Tilton Diner Cruise Night from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. Volunteers are needed to help out that night,
Okay.
okay? Because our executive committee is attending at the senior center, the Wednesday night group, but we don't need to get into that. So they usually help us out, but it's on a Wednesday night, the same night as the Wednesday night
So
group.
at the diner or at the
At
senior
the
center?
diner, we need help,
The volunteers are needed at the diner.
the fundraiser. Yep. So fundraiser for senior center combined with Every Child is Ours, August 9th at the Tilton Diner Cruise Night from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. Volunteers are needed. Any help would be appreciated. Same sentence. And then you can eliminate the third bullet.
What's up? Second. Any more discussion, motion on the table? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. Let me keep going until you want to stop me. All right, when you're ready, just let me know. I just want to update you on Bittern Lane. In our minutes, we suggested that the engineer can come in and speak with the board to hear the concerns and include the Conservation Commission at that meeting. If at all possible, I think that meeting should take place at that Bittern Lane if we go forward with it. I was down there this morning with Chuck Mitchell and Kathy went there. And, I didn't discover it, but Kathy and Chuck discovered a culvert. It's not on the plan. There's a drainage system there that at all. It's not addressed. It appears on these plans, but there's not a lot of detail with these, which I think is a result. But if they go forward and put the sidewalk in, it's gonna have to be right on top of that drainage system culvert. The drain is, I have pictures on this camera. The drain would be, so there's two driveways that access Bittern Lane now, the old Agway building and MB Tractor. Closest, in between, but closest to the Agway building's driveway is a culvert. That whole area there drains, there's an active spring just bubbling right out of the ground. MB Tractor has created an asphalt trough, if you will. So most of the runoff from that end of their parking lot all comes directly into that wet area and that ditch. And then directly into Ice House Pond. I took pictures today. Every bit of standing water, flowing water, has some type of petroleum floating in it. And when I was there today, there was currently, it looked to me like a hydraulic line spill. And I can show you my camera, the path the water takes directly through it down there. So I did stop in a deputy while I was there and talk to them about that. Also, somebody is mowing the lawn within the wetlands area, within the 20-foot buffer of the wetlands. If it had been lawn and they were continuing to maintain it, that wouldn't be a bad thing. But since we all know it wasn't lawn and became lawn because somebody started to mow it, now they're within the buffer and that isn't. But I also addressed that with Darrell.
So when we meet with Bittern Lane folks, you're talking about a Thursday evening? Or during the day?
Whenever we make it convenient for the Conservation Commission and the Selectmen. So if we go forward
And
with
you
the,
want the engineer present, because I put him on pool, and so.
only if we go forward with the project, if the applicant wants to go forward with this project.
Right, and she said that she wanted to know how much this was going to cost her.
So we need to get an estimate from the engineer.
Right, and I can't get an estimate from the engineer until he knows exactly what it is you want him to do.
Okay, so let's pick up this conversation.
Yeah, I
later.
had all that under mine.
That was a quick one.
Wow. Okay.
We're good. Thank
Ready?
you for your patience. So tonight's a very exciting night for the police department, and we're very honored and proud to bring on a new member of the department tonight. So I'd like to introduce Christopher Rideout. Christopher Rideout attended Plymouth State University and Norwich University for his Bachelor in Arts in Criminal Justice. He's a graduate of Londonderry High School. He was a full-time police officer with the town of Thornton Police Department. He's a graduate of the 168th Full-Time Police Academy in Concord, New Hampshire. He also worked as a paraprofessional at Plymouth High School, ranked top in New England in high school wrestling, and was ranked 6th in all of New England while at Plymouth State. Very talented wrestler. He also brings to us a lot of great training, evidence management, active shooter, overdose, response. Chris has also been an EMT, which is a great asset to have in CPR. He's also a certified scuba diver instructor. Chris comes highly recommended to us. He's passed our complete background process. He is already certified, so he would essentially be starting on Monday. We're very excited to bring him on board. I've been hearing about Chris for a couple of years now from Plymouth State criminal justice professors. And with Chris tonight, we have some guests. We have his dad, David, if you could raise your hand.
Hi, David.
His mom, Carol.
Hi, Mom.
And girlfriend, Deidre. She's in the audience up there. And so after the ceremony, we'll probably take a minute to do some pictures and stuff like that. So doing your swearing in tonight is our newest board member, Ashley St. John. And if you can come on up, and she'll do the swearing in for you. Just follow her instructions.
To the inhabitants of the town of Tilton in the county of Belknap and the state of New Hampshire, whereas there is a vacancy in the position of full-time patrol officer in the town of Tilton, and whereas we, the subscribers, have confidence in your ability and integrity to perform the duties of said office, do hereby appoint you, Christopher J. Rideout, to the position of full-time patrol officer for the town of Tilton, New Hampshire, which shall be as effective July 31st, 2017. And whereas upon your taking the oath of office and having this appointment and the certificate of said oath of office recorded by the Tilton Town Clerk, you shall have the powers, perform the duties, and be subject to the liability of such office until another person shall be chosen and qualified in your stead. Given under our hands this 27th day of July in the year of our Lord, 2017, the Board of Selectmen. So I'll have you raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Christopher J. Rideout,
I, Christopher J. Rideout,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully and impartially
that I will faithfully and impartially
discharge and perform all of the duties incumbent on me,
discharge
that I will faithfully and impartially discharge
discharge all of the responsibilities incumbent on me
as a full-time patrol officer
as a full-time patrol officer
for the town of Tilton, New Hampshire,
for the town of Tilton, New Hampshire,
according to the best of my abilities.
according to the best of my abilities,
Agreeable to the rules and regulations
agreeable to the rules and regulations
of the United States Constitution
of the United States Constitution
and the laws of the state of New Hampshire.
and the laws of the state of New Hampshire.
So help me God.
So help me God.
That's okay.
Now for the best part. Carol, if you would come on out.
Let me grab her.
Do you have the honors of Henry first? And who holds right here?
Tilton now.
How you doing? Good, good.
Camera.
It's hard on the bottom.
And Carol, your husband and Andrew, could you just come up for a quick picture with me? We have just a couple, if you guys could come on out, please.
Just smile, that's all.
Yeah. Can I just get one of Chris with the officers up there too? Luke, please. Please.
Did they get a hold of you over there?
Yes,
Okay.
but he isn't coming. Mine?
Huh? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You guys can.
Thought I'd take a photo today.
Can you still see? Oh, I guess. Excuse me.
Let's get one person to take a picture.
No, we're gonna have more than one. We always have more than one.
All the
Oh, these guys.
Recognize it. I wasn't looking.
Mrs. Galen has the last
Let's
name.
get Elizabeth's best side.
Yeah.
Okay, let me turn her around. Is it?
Can you move this way a little bit? Yeah, move this, chief, we're missing you here.
What's going on the Christmas carol? Yeah, we can call it back. Good to go? Good?
And,
No.
Pass the one on the top left.
Somebody can share it. Reverse.
Oh.
I could have figured it out of mine.
All right, look at it. Talk quick.
Is everybody looking?
Liz, you got your best side.
I did.
Okay.
No
And
TC.
then one more.
Welcome to Tilton.
Congratulations.
Thanks for your time, everybody.
Yeah, if I could get Liz up here for me.
Maybe some cookies.
Yeah, can you help with this?
Sure.
So Chris, when did you get a chance, tomorrow or next week?
Oh, they're here.
Oh, no, you have to. Are you on the box? You can't turn it on.
Not here, I'm still at the
Oh, you're still, so,
We wanted to also take this opportunity, one of our officers, Officer Liz Murray, has been doing a lot of an incredible work out there, and the captain and I were talking, and we didn't want to let too many more months slide by without recognizing
Where's my
her.
dog?
So we're going to take a minute to embarrass Liz for a second.
early.
Which is always a great moment. So let's talk about this real quick. So the first incident that I'd like to recognize Liz for occurred on February 13th at 3 p.m. West Main Street, where she stopped a 2001 beige Audi for an inspection violation. She had probable cause to believe that there were drugs inside the vehicle. She asked for consent, he denied consent. She ended up impounding the vehicle and doing a search warrant. In the course of that search warrant, she recovered 300 grams of crystal methamphetamine and a large amount of pills. Inside the vehicle also was scales and dangerous weapons. She didn't have probable cause to hold him, only the vehicle. So then she ended up drawing arrest warrants for him. And during the time we were looking for him, he got into numerous pursuits around the state. Merrimack PD got into a pursuit with him. State police got into a pursuit with him. This was a very, very, very dangerous, violent, bad guy. He was also known to the DEA as a high-level drug trafficker. And so after several weeks of looking for him, we contacted the U.S. Marshals fugitive unit, and then on I think it was a Thursday or a Friday night, they set up a sting and got him on Loudon Road in Concord. So now he'll be facing Liz's list of felony charges, who include obviously sales with intent and felon in possession of dangerous weapons. The second one occurred on July 2nd at 6:30 p.m. again on West Main Street, so she's setting up in that out there. Stopped a 2007 Dodge Cavalier Caliber for no plate. Arrested was Phil Joseph of Manchester. The arrest and seizure netted a large quantity of drugs and cash. I know it was well over $2,000 in cash. He was traveling from Maine to Manchester. Was in possession of charged with possession of controlled drugs in a motor vehicle with intent. And also the vehicle contained heroin, fentanyl, and marijuana. And then lastly, just some little known stats on Liz. So in 2017, she already has 64 arrests, 219 citations. But in 3 years, Liz has 105 arrests and 528 citations. 2.5. So she's not going to give up the 6 months. But needless to say, Liz is out there every day. She's hammering. She's doing a great job. She's making us proud. She's making the residents of Tilton proud. We wanted to take a little bit of time tonight to recognize her while we swear in Chris. And so, if you accept these on behalf of the police department and the town of Tilton. She's afraid to knock me over.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Good time.
Nice job.
Good time.
Yeah. Can I get uniforms up again?
Chief, where did all your officers hang all these citations?
Come on, I know you're gonna
I mean, need a wall or something.
Yeah.
Locker room?
Locker room.
Locker room?
You're Tilton now, so.
You are now.
He's like,
Guilty by association, I guess.
that was really awful of you trying to tell her there's something wrong with her.
Who was that, Nate? You were doing that?
Nate?
Actually, 27.
Nate would never do that.
Thanks. Thank you.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Good
Nice
job.
What snakes in the grass? I had no idea.
You're not supposed to. Snake in the grass, she calls you.
Board of Selectmen.
Board of Selectmen, John.
Board of Selectmen, Peter. I guess that's you.
Oh, the human. You get a chance?
The one night we was there because it was right.
I thought I was in your way, but it's just
Oh, you're gonna give me a camera.
No, wait. Well, I want to get one from the front. So let me know when you're done.
Well, it's not going to be on camera.
Cheers.
Okay.
All right, so don't move. Because all mine, everybody's always looking off to the side. Okay. Hello.
Say right out.
Right out.
Right out. That's a good one. All right, excellent.
All right, oh, Mom wants one.
Oh, what
yeah, I'm good. All right,
what
you got
about,
it.
did Elizabeth
All right.
leave already?
She left
Yeah,
already.
sure.
Yeah, they got some calls, they're back up
Oh.
on calls, yeah.
Oh. So, can you email me yours, because I'm gonna. How the heck do you get it? I still can't believe it.
We won't Photoshop her photos either.
So I wonder if my. They're all on camera.
No, that's a ball.
You're all on camera.
And she's just making it worse. So I gave Luke that letter.
Oh, you did? Okay, good.
I thought they were. We were.
Yeah, but I thought they were coming up with a big.
And I'll check on them Monday, make sure I get that.
We're back on.
Okay, you take care.
Take care of yourself.
Okay, I'm gonna haul this butt back.
All right.
You there, so.
There you go.
Have fun.
We're clear, yes. Is Cindy's office still open?
Yes, but it's just barely.
She closes at 5:30. That's correct. All right, so she's closed. Okay, so go into our non-public.
Make a motion, we go to non-public for RSA 91A, personnel.
Second, roll call vote, Chanel.
Constantino, yes.
Scanlon, yes.
Thousand, yes. John, did you hear me?
You
We
know
are
what?
red.
If
Red
you
is
drink
on.
coffee, you can commit it to
Are we
6:30.
gonna,
7:55.
so when we meet Saturday
Do you wanna see
to choose locations for the borings, Joyce, and she probably put it in her report, but while we're talking about it, she was in contact with the borers and
Oh, yes.
they're gonna get a, off-road type machine rather than a truck. But they said they could
Just a track
they put a
machine.
triangulation out, so do we wanna pick an area and then let them triangulate, or do we wanna try to set up the,
Yeah, we'll just
We'll let them,
mark the
we'll
spot.
take a stake, put it in,
Yep.
the center of the location we're thinking of?
yep. And
How's
then
that
they can do
sound?
it, yeah.
So we need two grade stakes.
Oh, so their borings would be in triangle, so
Yeah.
we won't know where it's clear.
No, we will pick, they have to know where we're thinking of putting this building, so my feeling is if we pick a center,
Mhm.
right here, we have pretty much a square foot area, they should have enough knowledge to look at the lay of the land and go, we better do a boring over there, and we better do a boring there, and we better do a boring there. Just saying.
Okay, so,
Excuse me, can we seal the minutes? Seal the minutes?
Seal the minutes of the non-public session as it pertains to personnel permanently.
Second,
Roll call vote, please.
Constantino, yes.
Scanlon, yes.
St. John, yes.
Fog, yes.
Dawson, yes. Thank you.
So what we're going to do on Saturday morning is just go up and drive a stake, because we can't cut anything, because we don't know where their points will be.
We're gonna need to know where their points would be unless they're willing to come up and take a look at what we've done and say, okay, you need to clear us a path here.
They're gonna have to tell us
So,
at some point where they want their path.
Yeah, well, we
Well,
we
part
can
of it,
guess.
getting into where your center is, you can come in almost
Yeah.
any way, and once you get into there is where they'll have to guide us.
Yeah, the the one down by 61 Business Park is gonna be easier because it's pretty flat and, you know, if we pick over here where it seems to make sense, then we can go, okay, we can make this, but we're not gonna know where to clear. I
A
mean, if
spot.
they've got a half-track type vehicle, they can run over most
Should
of
be a
what's
full
in
track.
there.
It's
But
full
if
track.
we
I
put-
showed you one last week, didn't I?
That's right.
if we put a stake out in the middle of the woods, well, not in the middle, but
Yeah.
in the woods there, and they're gonna make 3 points. One could be over here, which is on the edge of the trees and
Yeah.
grass, so they would come in this way. One might be,
Yeah,
so we don't know
right. I mean,
where to clear.
It's like Peter said, if we knew exactly what the vehicle was, they could, like I said, they can run over most of what's in there, because most of it's pretty well,
But we don't know where they're gonna be going with the
yeah.
vehicle.
So it seems to me that
So
they
what-
should come up and take a look at
What's the
where our
purpose of
stake
going?
is. to stake out to put a stake where we think this building should be.
We could've done that last week when we were.
And
That's
that,
right.
and that's 6 AM? We needed to go at 6
I
AM
don't
to
think we
do
all
that?
need to go.
We were
had a
originally
consensus.
gonna be clearing
We were gonna be
brush
clearing.
and stuff, so we can
We
we
thought
can
were
let
gonna
you
make
sleep
that
a little
road
later, that's
right up
fine.
each one.
I'm on vacation mode, so I don't mind sleeping in also.
So, I think one of the spots, you get a second chance if you wanna come up.
I don't really wanna get ticks on you though.
I got 2 ticks last time.
Well, you can, if you get any, give them to Catherine, she collects them.
The one down next
Took
to,
4 off the dog last
Sea
night,
Light,
3 off of
we
me.
determined that was sort of that little hill
Yeah,
that we walked down, was like the lower space, and then it went up. And that was somewhere around the middle, or maybe a little bit over maybe the middle. And the other one was away from the ledge, about center, going back, so it was about
yeah, for me on the
25
other one,
feet in from the woods.
I really do believe in stray voltage, so for the other one, for me, I'd want that building to be as far away from those power lines as possible. Bad enough, the parking lot might be under it, but I'd like to see the building out.
So we have to be there at 6 AM this time.
We can amend that time
Yeah,
now.
now we're just driving a stake.
So what works?
11.
Pat's getting up at the crack of noon.
Done with my day's chores.
I was gonna say, I'd be on my tractor by then,
I'll be getting ready to hop on the boat, so yeah, that might,
so
You'll be
7,
heading.
8?
what work, no, let's ask Pat.
And anytime's gonna work for me. I'm getting in at midnight the night before, so you just tell me and I'll be there.
What do you do on Saturday?
It's too
We're
dark
at
at midnight.
Business Park Drive,
Setting the stakes.
setting the stakes.
Oh, we can
You're gonna-
line,
oh,
we
you're
can
gonna-
line our
okay, are you
vehicles up,
talking
John,
about-
and
'cause
high
I need
beam
to
and
give you a report
walk
on
our
that.
way through it.
Yeah, and we'll continue this conversation so let's hold the thought until we have Joyce, we had a small conversation about it. All right, Joyce,
Ready for me?
yes. Please.
Okay, Bittern Lane. Steve Keach is the engineer. He's worked for a number of firms, a number of municipalities, as their town engineer. He was referred to us by John Radigan, and we're using him for the planning board to do reviews. Had a nice, I sent him all the information that I had. Dara gave me a few more pieces to add to it. I think where we are right now is what Paula Heiser, who's the applicant, is thinking the holdup is that she wants to know what more do you need for us to apply for the DOT driving permit. Based upon what I sent to the engineer to review, he said that what we have is not a complete plan. The DOT would expect more. So he would need a more complete plan, and he would also need a copy of a traffic study. And we had talked about, he probably wanted to go see the site.
I want him to go see the site because the blueprint, and we spoke to you about it earlier in the meeting, just to kill time, the blueprint does not reflect what is existing there. I mean, really, that whole drainage area we
If they're
discovered
missing a
was
drainage
pointed out to me
system.
today.
Right.
We need to
Huge.
stormwater runoff calculations for 100-year storm. It's really important.
Well, that would probably, yeah.
And that would be in the
Well-
AOT report, alteration of
But-
drainage.
Looking at their plans, are they encroaching on the protective area of the conservation easement or not around the pond?
There's one area that is really, really tight, one of their detention ponds. It's really, really, really close, but that's off the Bittern Lane project. What's interesting is Barry asked me today because I was telling him about the wetlands violations, because he, does reviews with. He, asked me if I thought it needed to go back to the planning board, but the area that we're talking about, I was talking about is off of Bitter Lane project. So if you look at this blueprint, and you see over here, this big dark, this area,
Yeah,
the Bitter Lane begins down here.
okay.
So this is what the selectmen are looking at.
Mm-hmm.
Not that we couldn't revisit this if we see something wrong. But this is where they're in, the far edges of this
Yeah,
are right at the edge of the 20-foot buffer. I don't know how they could build this without being in the 20-foot buffer. But over here, on this side, most of what they're constructing is not within the 20-foot buffer. So it's outside of that protected area.
now is that detention pond built such that it can't breach and overflow into Ice House Pond, which then could then
It
breach
does
Route
overflow.
3?
It does overflow into Ice House Pond as soon as it's filled, the runoff from it. And he's got
This-
a couple spillways, if you look at about 4 o'clock
If
on the pond, on the detention pond, you can see it a little.
If that's the
It's a
case, I
spillway.
would think you'd want the engineer to look at your stormwater calculations.
Yeah.
There's no reason why we couldn't have them look at the whole drainage management
Right.
The problem I have with it, and I did at the planning board, is that that entire site, including the roof drain, drains into those two detention ponds, which go directly into a couple little swales and then into Ice House Pond. I mean, in today's world, so for example, we have a project down by Hannaford's that Tim Bernier engineered, and they have a very small little brook there. It's a very small minimum amount of wetlands, but what he's doing is having those wetlands go into two different areas. So they go into a detention pond, then it goes into, oh my gosh, I'm sorry, I can't remember what it's called, but it's an area where sediment and.
Treatment swales?
Well, it's more than a treatment swale, it's like a safe block, whatever it's called. So it's a second form of protection to pull out any impurities, and there's a whole maintenance schedule that goes with it. And that's for tiny. This doesn't have that, there's no second backup.
No, we on Ice House Pond, and I'm trying to find out who's responsible for the dam in there. That's
When you say we, you mean the town?
the town, right?
No, the
Conservation.
dam is probably responsible, the dam division of DES.
Well,
Yeah, and the state owns
I
it
called
from-
I called Dan, the dam manager at the Dam Bureau.
He called the dam office.
Last week, he didn't call me back, I was asking.
There's two things that you're asking the engineer to review. One is the improvements being made to the road at the intersection, and the stormwater management system.
Well, it's not just the intersection, so there's two projects for me. There's Bitter Lane, Big Turn Lane.
Yes.
And that Bitter Lane involves sidewalk,
Right, that's all part of it.
lights,
Mhm.
the two turning lanes. And actually, it wouldn't be bad if you looked at what they figured out with the engineers. I really don't like the Cape Cod berm. And then the drainage switch system.
Why don't you like Cape Cod Brown?
Well, in that print they have, so at the beginning on the east side, where the state has changed the ingress to Bitter Lane, there's a Cape Cod berm that's spec'd in this that comes all the way down the side of that, take care of that runoff so it doesn't go sheet flow into the brook, into the pond. And then that ends, if you will, so let's say this pen is that berm, and then down here, this treatment swale, a little swale in the land is where this water is supposed to go. Again, in today's world, that's not enough treatment before it gets into that Ice House Pond. This is like dumb, I'm sorry.
Okay, so there's the intersection improvements. Then there's the improvements to Bitter Lane, which includes all those things that he's showing on there, lights and sidewalks and Cape Cod berms, and he's gonna put a final coat of top, paving on top.
Yeah.
All right, so then, and then the other is looking at the stormwater management system design for for the building and the parking lot and all the other things that are there.
And its effects on Ice House Pond. Because they're going to impact us or whoever owns that pond.
And also the state, because that runs underneath
Yeah.
311, small culvert, can that handle it, the extra flow?
Interesting, I don't know how big a culvert is.
I think it's
Probably at 12 to
16.
15.
No. Yes, it's scary.
Okay, so are there any of those, okay, and then you'd also like a site walk. And so he pretty much knows, we give him all the documents that we have. So he knows what he has to review. And a site walk, so, because Paula doesn't want to, as far as I know, she hasn't signed anything. So we shouldn't be incurring expenses on her behalf until she signs this. Because our people, well, we just don't do anything. So we can say, we haven't done anything, so we haven't signed our agreement. Which calls for a surety bond and all that. So if she signs this agreement and I can get her an estimate, then we can go ahead and have the, meet with the engineer and meet with them on site and you have Adam.
Yeah, I think it's very important for him to be on site, very important. I think the Conservation Commission needs to be there. They have a particular eye that I know I don't have.
We get copies of whatever is being sent to that engineer, also sent to the Conservation Commission.
Sure, but this is work I'm doing for the selectmen. The selectmen, all this is done, the selectmen say, do this.
Well, that's what I'm asking.
Is there any objection to any board member here to
It's public information, but
include the Conservation Commission on this correspondence with the engineer?
I mean, I don't.
Anybody
but-
object? Peter? No, I haven't
Okay,
heard.
all right,
So include them,
So
please.
the chair.
okay. So, and then, so I
Yeah,
need an
wouldn't go the
estimate.
whole committee, I'd just go to
It's
chair.
to the chair.
Oh, I always just send it to
Okay.
Chuck
Yeah.
and Kathy, because
And then
she's the
they'll,
secretary.
yeah.
Because before I'd send it to Chuck
Why don't we
and
send it to the
Eliza.
whole committee?
Because then they
Chuck
start
could-
having conversations
Exactly.
back and
Among
forth,
themselves.
So
and they're not in
Well-
the meeting,
Then
we send it all to the Board of Selectmen.
but you don't talk about it.
Now.
You don't
No.
send emails to
Ow.
each other.
We'll
No,
just say,
we don't,
Chuck,
because
please
we
forward
get this
this to
nasty
them.
gram from
That's right.
Boston and it
That's right,
says,
we get spam.
we will talk about this on Thursday.
Well, come on, you know, the whole conversations take place. You wonder
could
why I
clutter
don't
up
jump
the
into
email too
emails
much.
and
Keep it
Facebook
simple.
shit. Oops.
send it to the chairs and they disseminate it out, or they
Yeah,
get.
if
You
they
might
want
say
to
the wrong
disseminate it, they
thing.
can.
Yeah, let them say the wrong thing.
Yeah, I mean,
We tell.
I wouldn't want anyone responding to me unless,
Just
you
like
know,
saying
except
CNET.
Chuck, that's all, it's just,
Yeah.
you could manage it.
Oh, well, I can understand that. You can manage it better. I can understand that.
And I keep a record.
I understand that.
That's what
That
my
makes
office
perfect
looks like
sense.
it does. So if you get sued, or we get sued.
All right, moving right along.
Okay, so we have a plan on that, so let me save that, or clear lane.
She said she was gonna make our head hurt with all the decisions.
Well, that one wasn't that
Let me
bad.
tell
Yeah, I
you.
did finally take a drive up there today.
Bitter-
I've never been up there.
Oh, yeah?
Never been
Yeah.
bitter in life?
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm thinking about Tilton, the other complex, the other sports
Autumn?
complex. Autumn
You
Drive.
went up to Autumn?
Yeah, one of Autumn. So is that house, does someone live in that house?
I don't know if they did now. That was Flyshecker's complex.
That was this complex, and then what was the big building before?
So
What
it was
the building?
Flyshecker's, so as you stand on the road and look up, Flyshecker's home was this with the big columns in the front.
Yeah,
That was his home. The barn, he actually designed a knitting machine that was revolutionary, and he brought it over with him. And
That
that
was in the barn.
barn, that was in the barn.
and then from that point,
Then it was ceramic stoves.
the huge building and the Old Man in the Mountain, that was put in after.
That
What
was the
in there?
studio people.
That was the studio people, okay. Yeah, I've
The,
never been up
you know,
there.
did they make movies there? We used
They
to
were
call them
starting
the
to do
film
that.
people.
You know, that was old, like an arboretum up there too.
Yep.
He had all different trees.
It was?
That he got, yeah. No,
I've met
both
the
properties.
son and I've talked to the daughter on the phone.
He,
The son
Yeah.
lives in Thailand and the daughter lives in California.
Those two boys, they're twins.
on that piece of property all around that pond and scattered about, he collected different species
Yeah.
of trees and set up like a complete arboretum of different species all across the
There's
property.
two ponds
Beautiful.
and 2 dams. One of them failed.
Okay, so here's two easy ones. I sent you out an email today, we're getting a little extra little pot of money.
Saw that in the paper yesterday.
So, and some of the communities have already been receiving their money. So, but the thing is, it has to be spent on new projects.
Can we do more sidewalk?
Yeah,
That's what I was thinking.
we've got new projects. We certainly have to.
And if we don't spend it, it gets rolled over.
How much?
It's about 50,000.
That's in addition to.
The regular, we get like 56, 57.
Right, so we got a little more than twice our normal block grant.
So that's good.
I think we should do the rest of Main Street,
Do whatever you can get on Main Street.
Yeah.
but I'm looking at the asphalt sidewalk. You know, we really should get a price for concrete, and I don't care who does it, but what a difference if that was concrete sidewalk.
You mean downtown Main
In
Street?
terms of,
Aesthetics,
Downtown Main Street?
yeah.
You know, I kind of agree with you. Can we look at the price difference now that we have this money? We could probably enhance downtown Main Street.
It would make
How
a
about
huge
the-
difference.
What
Why?
do you think of?
No, he's giving me a nasty face. I
I'm
wasn't
thinking,
replying to
You
you.
could do
Oh.
exposed, you could just do broom,
I was thinking.
exposed aggregate,
How about
stamped.
the stamped with like the brick type pattern or something?
Oh yeah, there's tons of patterns, but yeah, you could do stamped.
Can we
So it
get
looks like it's a brick sidewalk.
three estimates and see what they come up, and then ask Gary to give us an estimate also for the downtown Main Street?
You know, you can stamp asphalt too.
and you can seal it different colors.
Yep.
When you seal it different colors, isn't it only lasting for about 3 or 4 years, and then it starts to peel up?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Then
huge.
it really looks
So why don't we
bad.
have Brock look into what's the most, the best
So-
cost efficient?
You can get, if you got prices, it would be for
So
probably
we-
spring work.
What are you doing?
You wouldn't
4
do
inch?
less than 4 inch.
Well, can we talk about that
Oh, yeah.
at another time?
Cement
Okay.
top.
Next thing is, I got an email from Lauren. She wants to know if the New Hampshire Assessors Association, of which our town is a member, every town is a member. There was discussion about their after-hours gathering to go over the benefits of the association. All communities by statute are members of the association, and many have no idea what the association can do for them, such as educational opportunities. In trying to come up with a central location, Tilton automatically comes to mind. Do you think the board would be open to an after-hours meeting at the town hall? Possibly on a Wednesday night upstairs, probably not be until the fall, but I'd love if Tilton were the first to host our traveling social opportunity informational session. Let me know. So I emailed her back, I said, well, Wednesdays in the fall, I'm gonna conflict with the budget committee. She said, how about Tuesday? And I said, well, it would be one Tuesday a month, because the rest is planning board. And I said, how many people? And she said, oh, 45, 50.
So they could go on the first Tuesday.
So you would project, we work that out, and I would attend, so there would be the town, someone from the town there to hold that close.
No, it's connected to town.
Make sure that they don't get too rowdy, so that's okay.
Choice
Anybody?
of bouncer.
Well, I love showcasing our community. When we did our New Hampshire, our Lakes Region Municipal Managers Meeting, we used the senior center, and they just fell in love with it. So I like showing off. Okay, town liability for employees using their personal vehicle on town business, and the, how much we paid out for the car and maintenance. Okay, first of all, in maintenance, I went back to 2009, February 2009, printed report. This data doesn't tell us anything. So since 2009, between gas, when we had the UST facility, and the mileage reimbursements that we've done, which the only people that sought mileage reimbursement since 2009 are Cindy and Catherine Dawson. Most of them are from Cindy. This 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
Okay, the
7,
code
8,
enforcement
9,
officer mileage.
9. This is out of our town hall vehicle maintenance line item. He's paid out of the land use
Okay.
as his own mileage reimbursement account. So that all came to $1,472. It's not much, all go back to 2009. And then in maintenance, which is mostly state inspections, parts, brake cable, towing, we had towing, we had a parking ticket, some auto body work, parts, supplies, car parts, seat, shifter cable, car parts, bill alignment. That all came to $1,432.91. So the total is, say $3,000, it was $2,905 to maintain that car, put gas in it, and this is 2009, so
So for 7 years, the car's cost us $3,000.
$3,000.
Well,
It's
I
pretty
thought it was
cheap.
gonna be a lot more
To the
than that.
nine. So,
Wow.
I know you like
I-
data,
I figured it was that much a year.
so if you want to play with that, you like to do things with
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
charts and stuff.
So that is
I would
pretty
add
cheap.
that.
And I don't know if I think I sent you these because I got different opinions from our insurance company and one from Primex. So my recommendation is we go with what Primex says because they're our insurer and they will insure our employees if they use their personal vehicle and they get in an accident.
But it certainly is cheaper for us to keep the car.
But what if we didn't, I mean, it's the cost of the car itself too, even though we're taking the older cars from the PD, we could get money for those.
True.
But we get, by the time we're done with them, I mean, the car we just salvaged, I think we're just having
$250,
towed away. I mean,
Hopefully we get around,
it won't cost us
Couple
anything to
hundred.
have it towed away, so there's no
what's the
value.
jumps now, $100 maybe?
Yeah,
100, but that's double the weight of a normal car, so
yeah.
might be a little more.
So there's
Looks
really
like
no
probably
value. by the time
cannibalized
we're-
half the
yeah,
weight,
there's
so
no
we're
value
probably
to
back
it.
to a normal car.
Because if we didn't use it, it'd be cannibalized anyway.
And basically what New Hampshire Municipal Association was saying, Steve Buckley, because I was talking with him on that other matter that he wanted me to talk with him about on the indemnification. So I said, oh, by the way, I've got this question on personal use of vehicles. He says, regardless, most municipalities adopt the provisions of RSA 31105, and by vote of the select board agree to indemnify and hold town employees harmless due to accidental injuries caused by the town employee while conducting town business. So our insurance, we would cover them anyway if they got in an accident. He also suggested that when you can get to the whole subrogation thing, is that in a normal world, people that don't have Primex coverage, if you get in an accident like that, the employee's insurance would pay, would file a claim for the damage to their car and within the town if they were injured. I guess we would cover it. But Primex says, no, they realize municipalities do require a lot of employees to drive their personal auto on business for use, so we include excess liability coverage for them while in the course and scope of their duties for the town. If their personal auto liability limits are exhausted, Primex would pay up to $500 personal automobile deductible for volunteer employees. I think I had emailed these to you, so if you want to reread them, and then we looked at because two of our employees. Okay, I also got the information on employees using cars for commuting and not for personal use. Okay,
Tax.
yeah, if they're using it for personal use other than commuting, that's a fringe benefit. But if it's just for commuting and it can qualify as an exempt vehicle, and they're very strict about what's exempt and what isn't exempt. And that's why they encouraged I sent this to both of those employees. But I think for the highway one with the pickup truck that we would be taking, I think that could qualify as an exempt vehicle.
I think it has to have a symbol on
Yep.
the side.
It has to have a symbol on the side, it's called a qualified specialized vehicle. And it says pickup trucks must be equipped with at least one of the following items in addition to the seal. And that they're only using it for commuting, they're not using it for personal use, it's business use. A hydraulic lift gate, a permanent tank or drums. He had installed a permanent, not a permanent, but a gasoline tank.
Holy
Gas-
tank in the
holy
back.
tank in
To
the back
refill.
for refill. And then they talk about permanent sideboards or panels that materially raise the level of the sides of the truck bed. I don't think that would qualify. But he also has a plow on that. So,
Plow frame, does that cover it? Oh, he's got the tank, right?
he has a tank. So, and the town seal, and he would not use it for personal use, just getting to and from work. So I think that would qualify. So when we get ready to talk about that sometime, bring that up again. This is the fun one. Ready? Police station study. Let me do that and then we'll get to the fun one. Two fun things. Travis Carpenter is the consultant engineer. He works for John Turner Consultants, which the town has done business with before and has had, we're pleased to work with them. And then Geotech, something or other is the actual name of the drilling company. I sent him all the information that I had, all the plans, everything. I didn't send him any of our conceptual designs because I never got to a point where I was reducing them enough that we could put them on the plans that we had that I made to scale.
Oh, yeah.
So last week I said, do you want me to do that? And I said, no. I said, that's great. And that was the first thing he had. He says, do you have any conceptual plans? He can see where it fits on it. And I said, no, they'll all fit. I said, they're all roughly 10 to 12,000. He says, well, is it a 2-story, 1-story, and and I said, well, I said it's all 3. So he said that the best thing to do is, because he would have to go out there anyway to mark the dig site. So if you guys, he could move you on site and you could show, I described what we saw. I said,
Saturday morning.
7 o'clock. I don't know, he said, he was talking next week, he said, because he's on the road, he said, next Wednesday or Friday. Because he'd have to get dig safe to come as well, I guess.
Well, we could do 2 things. We have to mark the center, which we would have to do.
Yeah,
And then the boring company that's going to do the boring has to come out and mark their 3 points.
well, that's what John would do.
That's what this guy's.
And-
Travis would do.
And then dig safe comes out, and then after that, we go and clear a
Right.
path.
And
So
he's-
we could go out Saturday and still mark basically the center of where we
Yes.
see
2
these.
spots.
That would really help.
Pardon? Just put out
Right,
2
2
stakes. And then whoever could meet with this guy next week, it would make it easier to make an appointment with him.
Yes.
Then we could go there and convey.
He said that they use an all-terrain
Track.
utility vehicle. Track model
Yeah.
with
Tank.
the,
Yeah, it's sort of like a
Mini
mini
tank.
tank,
That's
basically.
what it does.
and I said on the only lot where you'd really have to move out some tree, cut down some trees would be on the lot
Corner.
6, because that's pretty grown.
Yeah.
And I don't know how
Yeah,
far back you want to go in
Not very.
Well, we got a ledge right on the front, so we're
there.
probably
Yeah,
going
it's all
to
about that. So you can see a lot of outcroppings, and you can see, and also where you want the entrances. You can mark that. Where you want the entrance to be.
Why does the boring
Wait,
guy need to know?
entrance,
Not the boring guy,
Oh.
the
building entrance, driveway entrance?
driveway entrance.
How about the exit?
And that's it.
Yeah.
So we'll think about that.
Good.
All right, so I'll call him back and say that you guys are
Mark it out.
Does that sound like a plan?
We have to mark it out,
Yeah, you guys are gonna mark it out, and then he'll,
where the entrance is and everything?
well, he just suggested that, he said he would, in
Any-
this case, since we
Anywhere along the
don't have
road
an
frontage will
actual
make it work.
building design, because he says usually you mark the four corners of the building, and then he just would like to know where.
We're gonna mark the center, the boring guy
Why
can
does
figure
it-
out, mark the
He
boring,
said
and then,
usually he'll do a triangle.
yeah, then we can, you know, Saturday we'll talk about where we think the entrances might go. I mean,
Isn't
and
that the guy
each
who does
property
the layout of
defines
the
it.
property?
Yeah, why
Yeah.
wouldn't Gary
How can
Goodrow
we-
do that?
Do the
The
entrance?
property,
The layout of the property.
the property themselves are going to lend their own entrances.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, you're not gonna turn into Industrial Park Drive and then take a left to go up onto that property. You're gonna have
Oh.
to drive in a wide ways.
Well, we have an architect to go
Well,
and
yeah, he
lay out
was-
the flow of the
Right.
property,
Yeah, well, that's what he was gonna do, and you guys said, no, you wanted to do it.
the entrance.
Oh, no,
not
the
the
entrance,
entrance.
no, I'm just relaying what he says, do you know where the entrances are to the property? Would you be-
Who's asking that
That
question?
is Travis asking.
The boring guy.
Well, he hires a boring guy, yes. He determines where the guy's gonna bore.
Oh, so he wants to know where to drive the
We don't
boring
know where
truck.
the entrances
No,
are
no,
gonna
he
be.
wants to know where to drive the
If
boring
there's
truck.
any-
No, I
Well,
think,
no, I
No.
described.
Listen, the properties themselves are gonna tell you where their entrances are. I just said that. That corner lot, this, unless you wanna spend a lot of money for a driveway, there's only really two places you can access it. One's on 132 and the other is the furthest corner.
Right, almost on that property line.
There's no other choice. The flat one, well, you get a little outcropping of ledge there, so your entrance is gonna be there.
No, you go out there, figure out where you think you want the buildings to be, and put in, well, you're saying you're gonna put one in the center, but he said that if you could triangulate it, so if you had put in 3 instead of 4 corners, then he'll go and he'll figure out.
These boring guys should be able to look at the land and say, boy, we better test there.
Yeah.
That looks
He wants to
marginal.
know where you want the building.
Yeah, we're
we're
gonna put
gonna
a
give
stake in the
him, we're gonna
center.
give him the
How are
center.
we supposed to know
What
where
stick-
we want the building, where the best building
He's-
spot is supposed to be?
He should be telling us.
Right, I mean,
He's the engineer.
here's the piece of property. According to the borings, this is the best use of the property, right here. Not us telling them, this is where we want the piece of property.
And
The
again,
building, I mean.
the land is gonna tell you that as well.
Exactly, the land's gonna tell you that, not us. I don't understand why we're going through all
We're
that.
gonna
I
do
know,
it.
but that's what you guys did.
No.
He said, I remember I emailed Gary, I said, Gary, we're ready to go. What's the next step? He said, oh, well, let's get the committee and, let's go. And the board said, no, that you were gonna go out
We said
and
we
walk
were
the
gonna,
site
we said
and
we were
figure
gonna,
out where you want
we
it.
were gonna choose the lot.
That's all,
Just choose the lot.
just choose the
So,
lot.
I mean, and it's fine, we're gonna go out Saturday, we're gonna stake the center of the building. If he wants to know the 3 points, well, I guess he'll have to get on the bandwagon, but we're not
Well,
gonna
he'll
choose
figure
it.
what do you think? you
We're
would like
not
to
gonna
do?
do that, no, I think that we really need to just say, here's our limit.
Here's the center.
Here's the
Approximate center.
here's the
center.
center, and then you
You
take
tell
it
us.
from here.
Yeah, tell us
You
where
take
you-
it from
Exactly
here.
Use your suggestions where you.
Mark where you
Right.
want it. If we need to clear,
Professional
we'll
knowledge.
clear.
Here's the center of the property, and you figure out where the borings need to be, and you figure out
Yeah.
where the best spot
Yeah, you
is.
can do that. I'm not
is
saying
for the-
for you to go stick where you want the stakes for the borings to be made. He wants you to know, he wants to know where you're gonna put a building, where you
Well,
want
part
the
of
building.
it, we may.
He's gonna need to tell us where the best spot is for the building, based on what they find in the borings
Right,
and the
then he said to
land.
me, oh, well, do you have a conceptual of your building? I said, yeah, I have 3 of them.
Okay, so we're good. We're gonna go out Saturday, we're gonna stake out a center.
And that's
So what
gonna
time
be
is
based,
Then we're gonna meet with the boring dude guy that hires the boring dude guys.
Right,
And then we'll have a whole conversation with them,
right.
It'll get watered down to what when the real borer gets the.
you know.
and then we got a committee that will undo everything that we've done.
And then the selectmen will fire him. If they do.
And then we're back to grand zero again, and we won't get a police
We've got the
station.
guy-
No, we could just put it on down by Morrison
I
Ave,
really
which is
hope
where
that
I
you-
think we should be putting it anyway. We wouldn't have to deal with all this ledge and borings and all that.
I did
And
give
the
a little
big
heads
plan
up on
fits.
how,
And
Ineffective our
cheaper.
board is.
no,
That would not be
how,
cheaper.
there's a,
Sure,
I
I
said
still
it's
wanted
a
to
five-member
bore there.
board, and we've been
Remember, you
working
have
on
to tear all the
this.
buildings down before you can build.
So we have a plan though.
Yes.
Okay, now here's a good thing.
That's
Get
what
you
you
back
said
on
the
the
last
road.
time.
Yeah.
This is gonna be fun.
Hathaway paid.
Yay. Oh, big yay.
And somewhere I made it, did up the deed.
In the yellow folder.
That's all it's getting.
That's the one at Jensen.
What was, I didn't like it into it, as long as it's all good and it's straight and the whole kiosk thing got straightened out. And did we didn't send them a refund, right?
No, because the refund would have been $700 some dollars.
So it's all
Right,
straightened out.
this is the amount that she would have owed, and she sent the check, which I'm waiting until it clears, right?
Alright. So
And she
it's,
said,
everything's
sorry,
good.
I could not find any writing paper, so I used the back of the letter. I'm paying off the town tax that I owe. I apologize for how late it is. Also, when writing the check, there was some miscommunication, so if the extra bit of money can be held and put into the next tax bill, that would be wonderful. Thank you, and sorry for how unprofessional this letter is. $1,100, but it's paid for by a Brenda Blaze for Tracy Hathaway. And, so I have the deed ready, so as soon as the check clears,
So next week we'll send the deed.
well, I'm thinking it, then I could go, when the check clears, and I can go record it. If it doesn't, you don't want to sign it yet. I'll leave it out, and
I'll sign
I'm
it.
not gonna do anything with it until
I trust you.
I make sure the check clears. I have no reason to believe that the check won't clear. But I'm not gonna record it until,
How many times did you read this deed?
how many times?
Just thinking of the Ronnie Martin affair.
Oh, that's the template of the one that I use all the time.
Okay.
I just, has blanks. So anyway, we would owe her $16.63.
And we'll credit that to the next issue.
Well, it's difficult to do that. I'd have to refund it.
Why don't you
I
just
should
read it?
Difficult
Because there's no way, this is in
Oh,
our system.
because this is out of the
This
system,
is out
it's
of the
not in
system.
Harris, I would refund it, and just a little letter of explanation.
And
It's
then
out
I
of
was
the
thinking,
system.
we held up, we could say, well, you know, we paid $32 to record the tax deed and now the quitclaim deed, but I don't think I have any statutory authority to charge her for those things.
It's fine. It shouldn't, you know, from what went on, we'll
Okay,
utilize
now.
it next year.
Let's have some bets. How long do you think this is gonna take?
Oh, God, Joyce.
Oh, God, you're not going to trash.
Oh, my God.
Oh, she's going to
We're going to
trash.
Because we have to have this. We
Oh,
wanna
yeah,
get
that's right. It
started.
starts
All the
next
bids
week.
are in town.
We do not have a start date, we have
Next
projected,
week.
we have projected.
We have projected.
Dates.
I
It's
have
2
not
months ago.
published a date.
No, we've had projected
Depends on how
dates.
you present it, Joyce, is how long it's gonna take.
Projected dates.
Here. Before you start reading, there's two things you have to do.
Is this the correct
And,
one?
and you know, I could have made it worse. I could have had Tony here and then.
Before you start reading, Madam Chair, you're reading.
I just want to point out to you where there's some discrepancies in our ordinance.
Let's give the property back.
And I could have sworn I made copies.
Why are there
of it.
discrepancies in our ordinance?
Well, you
Because
see,
of this new agreement?
Yeah, well, it's a new program.
Yeah, but, so who created the new program? Not the selectmen. Why wasn't it created as per our ordinance?
Well, because this is the way it's gonna be automated. All right.
Wait a minute.
We have a, yeah. Go ahead.
Remember, I
I'll
talked to
save
you
my
guys
comments.
a month ago
Thank you.
on this,
Can you hand me that yellow folder?
I didn't agree with
more
that.
than a month ago.
Go ahead. Let's
All right, so
hear
you're
it.
gonna have two documents. Okay, so the blue header, Town of Tilton, 2017 Residential Curbside Recycling and Solid Waste Services Guide. This service guide contains important dates and collection information. Please read and keep this information. Now, what I would suggest, because Gail and I have gone, well, I went through this for a long time, twice with, this is like its fourth edit with Tony, and then Gail and I went through it yesterday. And, I mean, you can keep going through it all the time and making changes, and at some
Okay, but
point
what
you
do
just
you
have to make a
suggest?
stop. Well, start on in the yellow, it says, just the facts, ma'am. Get rid of ma'am,
Yeah, that's rude.
okay?
Just
So-
the facts.
Just the facts.
Without exclamation.
Friday.
How about sir? Might be just a fact, sir.
That's right.
Okay,
Oh, from Friday.
now, I mean,
Friday
there's
would.
been thought to how this has been
Dragnet?
laid out, because
TV show?
stupid people like me have a hard time understanding things when there's a lot of writing. So details of our new program can be found on the pages of this guide. Below are the basic important points. This is where we're explaining to them that we're going to a fully automated system. They're gonna have a black cart for their trash and a blue cart for their recycling. These are the 96-gallon carts, they're the big ones, okay? We're also going to, where we're gonna have our own personal trash collection guy, who's gonna do it 4 days a week. So we have our own guy.
What happened with the green ones that we have now?
We have
I think
blue
it's
ones.
they're blue with a green lid.
Yeah, they're bluish.
Aren't they
Those
green?
are okay.
They're funky.
Well, they're gonna see this and they're gonna say, well,
Okay.
we're,
Don't remember that.
We got bluish gallon.
I'm
carts.
just telling you, they're gonna see this picture and they're gonna say, I didn't get a blue one yet.
Yeah, you may want to reference that the Casella ones are equivalent to the blue ones.
That's exactly what they're gonna say.
Now, okay, we have
So
4
you
days
put
of
blue,
trash.
I assume the blue cards are coming from Pinard, that's what we're getting? We have,
No, we have our own blue carts.
okay, we
I had
have,
to order,
oh, the new cards
I
are
had-
blue, they're not the same color as the old ones?
well, they're blue.
Okay, are they the same color blue as the old ones?
I don't know.
No.
Okay, then when we say here, the blue 96-gallon cards and the Casella cart, the old Casella cards, will be used for automated collection.
For existing
The
Casella.
original
The
Tilton
existing-
recycling bins.
Hold that thought, because when you read in here further, you're gonna see reference to that, okay? Okay, so there'll be a limit of 1 cart per household, and details are on the next page. On the trash, purple Town of Tilton trash bags will be available for purchase for your occasional overflow needs. I wanted to include in there, and I told them that we didn't do it, from the town hall, because Cindy said she was gonna sell the bags, okay? Chances are, people aren't gonna need them, because these 96-gallon things are going to hold more than 3 bags of trash. Okay, and then the same thing with 1 cart per household. Details regarding multi-unit buildings are on page 2. And they're allowed to buy additional carts. So if somebody says, you know, I really wanna just recycle, I'm only gonna have one little 45-gallon trash thing, I wanna recycle, then they can buy the carts. But they're buying them for Pinard because we don't wanna be in the buying and selling carts. We take care of our own carts that we own.
Here's my question, Denise. What color are the cards gonna be that they buy for Pinard, and how do we tell them from the cards we already have?
By the serial codes,
Okay,
and he keeps track of all of that.
okay. My next
Right,
question
yeah.
is, did this board agree that we were gonna have them buy an extra card?
Well, the incentive is we want people to recycle.
So that's my point. Why are we requiring them to buy a second?
We're not requiring them.
You
If
just
they
said
want
buy.
to.
No, they
If
have an
want to.
option.
If they wanna recycle more, and they can't get enough in their cart,
Or,
they have an option to buy their own
I
carts
have 2
there.
recycling right now. You gonna take one of them away?
No.
No. Oh, that you're using
Yes.
recycle.
Oh,
Well,
yes,
you
we
really-
are.
you
No,
have
you're
to-
not.
Wow.
The
If
town
we're gonna-
agreed before under the agreement that I have.
If
We were
you
allowed.
wanna keep our trash, keep with our flow control, we're going fully automated, this is what was voted, that they're gonna have a black one for their trash, and they got their Town of Tilton Casella blue one. If they want another recycling bin, they can buy it.
Some people already have two, Joyce. We gave two out when
Right,
the
well,
program
they-
first
I know,
started
well,
with
then they can
Casella.
keep
Now
them.
they'll have three.
So now they'll have three.
So now you're punishing people.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Why are they gonna have three? If I already have mine, why would I get another one
Some
from
people
Bernard?
already have two when the program rolled out before you
Right.
became selectman.
Right,
If people were really recycling
Okay.
people and they had a lot of recycling, they went down to the garage and got a second one.
but they're not gonna get a third
Right,
one under
that's what I'm-
Bernard. They've
If
already
they
got
wanted to
it.
buy a third one, they could buy
Oh, they
a
can
third
buy
one.
They have enough to
Okay,
buy one, but it
so
has to
why-
be either one of our carts
Mhm.
or the extra
So
ones that.
if we're allowing those people who already have two to keep their two town carts that we paid for, then why are we making those people who really want to recycle buy their second cart?
Because to go to a fully automated system, you have to have the cart. Do you want the Town of Tilton, I'm paying, what, 50 some dollars, how many did we spend, budget to buy these extra carts so that we can give Jensen's carts and replace the ones that we took away?
It's
from-
not equitable. It's not equitable.
The
If we're
contract
allowing
changed.
people to have for free two carts,
All right,
and
well,
some
let's, okay.
other
All right,
taxpayer,
we can come back to that one.
no, we're not. We're gonna talk about it right now because that's where we're at.
The contract
Because the rules-
changed,
the
people
rules
didn't get
changed.
It's
into
not
it.
equitable.
And
The rules changed.
It's not equitable.
Times-
Okay.
You're
Well,
treating
can we
taxpayers
see how the
differently.
program's gonna work,
And
because
bring the
that's
same
where it
opportunity
really
for
is.
it.
No,
the
I'm
same
not. I want it to be equitable. It's not fair. I only have one cart and I only intend to have one cart, so I'm not talking about myself. But if I have residents in this town who have two carts right now, didn't cost them anything, and they're recycling fanatics, that's delightful. And I was told it's great to be a recycler, and that's what we want them to be, and that's what we're
And that's what
instilling.
the program
Now
was,
I've got a
because you had
resident-
people buying purple bags, paying for it.
And we're gonna have people buying purple bags
For
now.
their
Yeah, you will.
excess, for their
So,
excess
if-
Yeah,
garbage.
you will.
My
their
God,
excess
it's still
garbage.
not right.
Because it costs us $66.66 to burn it.
It-
So they're gonna pay $1.50 or $1 for their purple bag.
It is
to
not
pay that.
right to treat taxpayers in the town differently.
We're not, they didn't
Oh
buy
my-
in on it in the beginning. That
Well,
whole
you are. The whole
contract's
garbage
over.
thing is.
This is what we have now.
Okay,
That
I'm
was
a
it.
new family. When this started, I was a husband and wife and I had two kids. Didn't have much recycling. Now those kids are grown up. Now they're school-age kids and I got a lot more recycling than I had before, but I only had one cart before because I only needed that one cart.
Go to the liquor.
Now I could really use
Well,
two
you know,
Go
carts.
to the
I
liquor
think
store,
that- But I'm gonna
get
have
some
to buy my
boxes, stack
second
them
This
on
car.
top.
town is
Wow, can I
picking up the-
finish talking? I'm gonna have to buy my second cart, even though my neighbor on my right, my neighbor on my left, they got their second carts and they got them free.
How many years ago? Why didn't you buy it then when you had the
Because I
opportunity?
didn't need it. And I didn't have to
Alright.
buy it
And it
then.
was a
It
different
was
contract,
free.
the tax rate was
Can
different
I
and
ask,
everything.
It was-
Wow.
It was
Doesn't it
free
save us
until we
money?
left Casella, then it had a cost.
Doesn't
I know.
it save us
Yes.
money to
To
recycle
recycle,
more?
yes.
No,
Yes,
no.
yes.
When you look
Yes.
at the cost of running the truck, if we did it all solid waste, it would be cheaper.
Okay,
Yeah.
it was my
the
understanding
costs
the
are-
more we
The
recycle.
total cost is less to do only garbage.
Yes, it is.
Oh, I mean, if you're, the more we're recycling though, the more we're saving. So if somebody's recycling 2 binfuls,
Well, that depends, because if the total tonnage is creeping up,
okay.
then no.
So,
Yes, Ashley.
so the other question is, what foreseeable issues do we have? Do we think people are, every person in the town of Tilton is going to
Want to recycle
try and
cards.
recycle? And what do we,
No.
I mean, what
They
are
are
we thinking
now.
people are gonna do with it that we're opposed to? What's the
They
fear?
think that somebody's, because under the old program, when the town was administering it, that if anybody wanted a cart, they would go down and say, I want an extra cart, they got an extra cart.
What's
Okay.
the fear of having to pay for a few extra carts? Do we think people are going to abuse it and get a free cart and then stockpile
It's the
carts?
cost of the carts.
The
So
cost
the
of the
cost of the
cart.
carts and how many do we have any idea of how many people have requested an extra card?
An extra one or a new one?
An
Mostly they're-
extra one.
An extra one? I can't give you that information, I don't
Is
know.
it a
but
significant
We have a
amount?
lot of
We
new
have-
people,
We have about 20 new people.
20 new people.
But that has
That have
nothing to do
requested
with,
an
okay, so
extra
20
card.
people that have requested an extra
Right.
in the year?
Since
When it first started, people came in and they would swap sizes of cards because they didn't need such a big card. And then people would come in and say, well, I want to recycle a lot, I want an extra card.
With the Casella, the Pinard truck, if you've got boxes, you can stack on top of the bin, and they'll dump it one
Yeah.
motion with it.
Yeah.
So, I don't know how many people need two 96-gallon,
Exactly, so
Containers
so if
all
these
the
are not
time.
gonna be that many people that see it,
both for you or for,
And I think
We have 3 between the two
okay.
apartments.
the more
And
we
they're chuckable
recycle, the
full.
more we
Okay.
save, the less trash
Yeah.
they're gonna be throwing recycling in the trash, less chance of that. I mean, maybe not advertise it, but say, see us if you wanna discuss
All
another
right.
card.
if, we can talk about this, because there'll be other things in here we'll want to talk about, but that one, just set that aside for a minute, because that's something that's a policy decision that can be changed.
We can't set everything aside. You've
No,
told us
let's
4
go. I
things
know what
you
Joyce
set
is
aside.
saying. She
Because
wants
there'll
to
be
get
other
through
things,
this.
okay?
And we don't have to decide it tonight.
Okay, now, so look to the right now. This is brand-new curbside trash and recycling program. The town of Tilton's excited to announce our new automated trash and recycling program. With this program, we have, scratch that.
Can we get rid of the first 3 exclamation points on the red lettering?
Yep. We made some important changes to the collection program. For use with automated collection, residents will be issued 96 gallons, and I got gallon, I scratched out that, wheeled cards, and I put in 2 commas.
So no option for the 60, what is it, 64
48, I
gallon?
think.
Yeah,
Or
we've got-
there's 2 or 3 different,
Yeah, there'll be the one smaller one too.
well, okay, it's not on here though. All I'm seeing is
Okay.
96, 96,
Right,
96
so
everywhere,
if-
so just
Yeah, we'll just make a note that we, will.
smaller sizes are available
We have
upon request.
smaller sizes available upon request.
That would be good for those that
Okay.
have trouble with it.
All right, a black card for trash and a blue card for recycling. Details on using these cards and how to handle excess material can be found on page 2. This is the big one. I thought you guys were gonna like squawk about this one. The town has also made changes to the collection schedule. Please consult the street listing and calendar located in this guide. All streets will be designated as either A or B streets. The letter corresponding to your street will tell you which weeks your material will be collected. While trash will be collected weekly, recycling will be on an alternating weekly schedule, with half of the town being collected one week A and the other half collected other week B.
A, Monday and Tuesday. What we're gonna add after A, Monday and Tuesday?
He changed all that on the second page, on this schedule page, he changed the colors in the A's.
You did.
So much, this is so much, I just gotta say, looking at this, like, whoa, the colors, the all caps, why can't it just, why does it have to be A, B, just, these are the streets that are getting trash Monday.
You'll see when you look at the
Yeah,
schedule.
you'll see. Okay,
I don't get the A or B either.
Yeah, I'm
you
looking
get-
at it.
Yeah.
I don't.
When you look,
This is Monday's collection, this is Tuesday, this is Wednesday, this is Thursday.
yeah, we're going to 4 days a week.
Yeah, so why the A, 2 A's and 2 B's?
The old east side is the A's and the west side's the B's. They split it into
The
half.
streets have
Yeah,
changed.
instead of being
It doesn't.
I'm
no,
just
east and
saying-
west, it
I
might be
went-
3, it
actually-
What I'm saying is this is so confusing, there's so much in
It's
here
too
that
much in-
doesn't need to be,
Yeah.
like, what do
The
you
A's
mean,
and
I'm A
B's are
and B,
crazy.
I don't get it. How
Okay,
about
well,
just-
what he was gonna do then is he was going to, when he hands out the cards and these, he was going to hand out another piece of paper telling people, you're an A day. The only
No, I'm
reason he
not.
does
I'm
this is
Monday.
what he does, so you wanna get rid of A and B and you wanna leave it the days.
No, because, what's an A day
It's too
mean? Oh, you
confusing.
get trash picks up
That's what I'm
Tuesday,
saying,
just,
but it will go smoothly, he does this in all his other communities.
I don't care how many communities he does it in. Do you know the percentage of senior citizens that we have in here? And now they've been living with, for I don't know how many years, on the east side they're one day, on the west side there this day.
Don't even have to
And
say
now we're
that.
gonna be,
If
my
you live on the
street's gonna be
street.
A, my
Catherine,
street's
One
gonna
We
at
be
a
used to
time.
be too.
One at a time.
We used-
It's so this here, me reading it right now is so confusing. I can't imagine someone living alone, 90 years old, trying to figure this whole thing out. I'm sorry,
Well-
I'm just trying to figure it out as a senior citizen, and I'm,
Well, on the east side of town, under Pinard, we've gone from Tuesdays to Mondays. Prior to that, we were always Tuesday. So we've already had a change.
Well,
It has nothing to do with the
Monday,
change, it has to do with, this is supposed to make people understand and make it easier for them, and this is the exact opposite of that. 3 pages to tell them when their trash is gonna be picked up and what, you know, I mean, this is just, I don't see the point in A or B, it's just another thing for people to
It's telling you
focus on.
that every
Okay, so
week your
Monday-
trash is gonna get picked up. I don't know when week A is, but on week A, my recycling's gonna get picked up, but on week B, I guess my recycling isn't gonna be picked up.
you have to go to the back
So then you
page.
go to the back and you go, what?
Red and
Oh, what?
black.
Red and black, so every other week, but, so my recycling isn't the same as the others, but,
All right, let's take you move on to Laconia Road, Catherine.
Yep,
So we
so
get
on
rid of A
Monday-
and B, get rid of A and B. Okay, so look on here and say where you wrote it. Okay, oh, my trash day's Monday. Yay, it hasn't changed. The bulk of the people that are on Monday now doesn't change, okay? So that's a good thing. So then you say, okay, well, my trash gets picked up on Monday, great. Well, when is my recycling get picked up?
on the red week.
On the
Monday,
red week.
still on Monday.
Still on Monday, it's a red week. So we get rid of the A and Bs, I agree with that. That makes it much easier.
Thank you, Ashley.
So if you, like, you look on Wednesdays, well, who's getting Wednesdays? All the people in Jensen's,
Yeah.
they're Wednesday. They're elderly, they never had it before. So they're not gonna be confused.
No, they'll be confused because I never had it before, and they'll forget it as the truck.
People
driver.
on Tuesday are-
Oh, crap. On Wednesday?
The
Yeah.
east side of town's gonna be a little
just-
confused,
there's some
because
notes
they've
in
gone
there.
from
I don't-
Monday
You
to
got
We don't have
Tuesday,
anything
Back
and
and
then
forth.
back to Monday.
Just tell me the week
We
that
are-
this rolls out,
I think-
please, because that's the
We've
week I'm
done this
going on
on the street.
vacation.
Okay, so where's Maple Court?
Maple Court's in the black.
It's in the black, it's down
Well,
here
not- I
on the
don't
bottom
think
of the
we can
second
Double,
column.
we can cut this
I don't
out
see
one.
Should
Maple
be-
Court.
Yes,
Go to the
it's-
very
it's-
bottom of
it's-
the
it's-
page.
Darn, you're still on
We're
Thursday.
making it so that
The village district's still
And
on
it's in color and
Thursday.
it's a waste.
I don't have a problem with the choice, but I'm taking a vacation when it rolls out.
Who,
Yeah.
who pays for these flyers?
They do.
And if you take a vacation when it rolls out, you're
They
fired.
design it.
But they're paying for the paper, the printing?
Yes.
It's included in our contract.
Technically, we are in the contract,
Right.
but yes.
Yeah, because this whole paragraph goes away without the A and the B.
And
Yeah,
you've
so
got
get rid of the
your
A
first
and B.
page, something over here, things in caps, different colors, I mean, this
Keep it
is just
simple.
like confusing.
Okay, now, well,
I like the pictures.
And also, don't we have an ordinance that says you're not supposed to have trash outside of the barrel? Isn't that in our ordinance?
Our
we'll-
ordinance
we'll get to the
requires their
ordinance.
trash to be in the barrel.
Right.
And this picture shows it can be, and
That's
when
the
you,
excess.
but it
Joyce?
we shouldn't have any excess.
Page 2.
Can we just finish page 1,
Okay.
please? Because I circled this because this
Now
is,
you can't do that. So where do you do your?
I don't know, go ahead, Joyce.
okay. We'll never get through this, let's just get through it once, then we can go back and pick it apart. Okay, so you gotta follow these guidelines that you're gonna read inside here, otherwise he's gonna sticker them.
Where are you?
I'm still on the first page at the very bottom. Material not following these guidelines will not be collected. And then I put in here, because there's always been confusion, our current ordinance says, as always, material may be placed curbside after 5 p.m. the day before collection, but no later than 7 a.m. on collection day.
So if my
Now,
trash
what?
is
That
picked
doesn't
up at
make
2,
sense.
I can't put it out at noon?
That
Can
doesn't
we
even
put-
make sense.
Can we put carts
It's in
or
my
Say what you
switch.
want, but
trash
don't
or
call up and
barrels?
complain.
If you
Material.
miss it, yeah.
Got you.
Okay, now I was gonna put in there
Your
the Main
material.
Street, gets picked up
Well-
earlier, but that's just
Well-
gonna confuse people.
Joyce, they come by my house at 6:30 in the morning.
Yeah, they're
He
early.
swears they don't.
No, they have weeks there before 7 on my
Let
end.
me take a
Okay,
picture
but
of
let
it
me
the
tell
next
you, okay,
time.
but we've got our own truck now.
Okay.
We've got our own truck that's just doing Tilton.
Okay.
Can we go through this?
Good. And notice that the number they're gonna call if you have questions is NARD.
Look, after tonight, take it home, read it, write down
I'm not
questions
thinking as clear as it
and
should.
concerns, and then next week we'll discuss them.
Well, next week is August.
Well, I'm sorry,
Well,
but
if
I
we're not
can't
gonna
make a
discuss
decision,
them,
I'm not
then
gonna make
let's-
a decision on this tonight, it's 5 of 9.
But I don't necessarily, I don't
So we
need
won't be starting this August 1st.
you to read it, you know, like, I feel like we can just do that ourselves if we're not gonna make any changes or comment on them.
Oh, no, we can, but I just wanted to get you through to read it. We'll never get through it unless
But-
you get through
yeah,
and
but-
read it, and then go back and make changes.
It's helpful
I've
to
done
hear
one
the
side.
explanations as to why, go ahead, Peter.
Page 2, bottom of the page, in yellow, 5 feet away. In the picture, it's 3 feet away, so which is it, 3 or 5?
Two, Joyce. No, it's changing from 5 to 3.
Well, whatever,
5 to 2.
No,
It-
no.
well,
In the-
I have a contradiction here,
No,
so.
it's 5.
In the picture it says
Says
3,
3.
Peter's right, and in the language it says 5. What's it gonna be?
Pick a number, or
Oh,
just
it's
be
3,
consistent.
it's 3.
Okay, I don't care, I
And
just
do-
want them the same.
Do we need that yellow box
Probably
stating
not.
what it says exactly in the picture? It's just more stuff
Just
to
look
look
at the illustrate, yeah.
Good point. Get
I-
rid of the yellow box.
Well, it doesn't say anything about 5 feet.
Well, we have to clarify, is it 5 or 3?
It's
It is
3.
3.
It's
It
3.
used to be 5,
Get rid of it.
and he said, no, it's 3. Now, the other, well, this is a good point while we're looking there. Our ordinance says you get 2 excess bags that you can take to the highway garage. We're picking up the extra bags at the curb. So, he didn't know if it was 2 or 3.
If they're paying $1.50, does it really matter?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Well, then we have to change our ordinance, because our ordinance says 2 that you take to the highway garage.
Well,
Okay.
we're not talking about the highway garage, we're talking about curbside pickup.
Right.
Are they still gonna be able to take it to the highway? If
It
they
has
are-
to be, if they take it to the highway, it still has to be in a purple bag.
That's right.
And it can only be 2, says our ordinance.
To the
We'll
highway
revisit
garage.
that
Right,
and-
highway
Well, we
garage.
don't have to,
But our ordinance doesn't say purple bags, does it?
No, that's,
It
that's
says
another
trash
one thing
bag.
we have to do.
Trash bag.
Trash
So if
bag.
they're buying a bag to dispose of their garbage,
I can have 10.
and if we're only gonna have purple bags down there, then why the heck are we limiting them?
Right.
Yeah.
Because for him to do the automated pickup, you can only fit 3 purple bags on
We're
top.
talking about bringing them down to town garage, not the curbside right now.
My biggest
Because
issue with the
you'd have
trash.
extra if you have more than the 3.
If we allow people
What's inside?
to bring 2 purple bags down to, bring purple bags, that's the only thing you can bring, once we do this, down to the town garage, and you've gotta pay for those purple bags, why are we limiting the number of purple bags of garbage? Anybody can
Go
bring
down there.
Going to the highway
Go
garage.
If they're purple, no. But
Right.
if I'm a resident who's on a road that's not serviced, do I have to do purple bags if I have to take my garbage to the highway, or can I do 2 black bags?
Why
He's not,
wouldn't
he's
you-
not picking up,
No. If I am a resident in town who is not serviced by this contract, can't I still take my trash to the highway garage? My question is it purple or is it any color bag I want? Is it a 2-bag limit of any bag I want, or do I have to do?
Everybody's purple.
yeah, but
Well,
he's,
except for I'm not being serviced by the town pickup because the road, for whatever reason, they can't travel on. We have a few residents
Yes,
that,
we do.
so I just wanna make sure
but
that,
he's picking them up. Remember, he came in, he said he could go pick them up, like Hawks Meadow Road.
Pest house?
He's gonna go out
Marshall
the end
Circle.
of Pest House Road, he's
Right.
gonna have to go to Franklin.
Yeah,
to get
from
Yes,
the
he said he
front.
would go pick them up, and no,
Okay.
and you said as long as there's no increase in the contract, he said no increase in the contract.
all right,
Okay.
if he's gonna hit
If
them
he's
all,
gonna
I'm
service
just-
them.
Yeah, he felt the
Okay.
edge of the ledge way.
Okay.
Going to winter.
It's a ledge.
The biggest issue I have is telling people that it's okay to put trash outside of the barrels. Because if you go down Main Street, up Winter Street on trash day, it's disgusting. Everybody's got trash outside. I can't even tell you, every week, there's something ripped open from an animal.
Yeah.
I mean, and now we're saying, yep, it's okay to put 2 extra on top. I mean,
Well, that's because what the board wanted. They wanted to be able
Well,
to, if you
I'm
had
saying
access to
that-
pick it up.
we shouldn't.
That's why
Everything
you
should
should-
be inside the barrel. And if it doesn't fit in the barrel, then you pay for a new barrel, you take it to highway, whatever. I don't think we should tell people it's okay to put trash out that's not in an enclosed cart for health reasons. And
Well,
it's,
that's what the board wanted. He wanted them to, and he said, you know, it's gonna take the driver more time because he's gotta get out, and
But he
if they're
doesn't-
on the lid, he can just dump it.
Mhm.
That's why you should go 2 bags, because 2 bags.
but no,
would fit,
but
not
that's
3.
what I'm saying. They shouldn't be on the lid for health reasons.
The problem is that we allow residents, property owners, to put their garbage out the day before pickup.
Not after 5 o'clock.
It's still the day before pickup. Do you know what happens during the night? The raccoons come out, and skunks. That's what gets into it.
But,
But if
So
it's
if we-
on top of the container, the raccoon might get it, the skunk will.
Skunk one.
Okay.
something's getting it.
All right, so, well, if you wanna change that, he would love that. And just let people buy as many bags as they want, and they take it down to highway garage, then we're gonna becoming a transfer.
If we're providing the barrel, there's more people that I see Main Street, Winter Street, when I'm driving
More
home,
garbage.
that don't
Yeah.
have a barrel than do. I mean, people are
I
just.
think
We're
that'll
giving
change
them a
now.
barrel.
That's what I'm
Right.
saying.
I think
So-
that'll change now that we're giving them the barrel, because on Winter Street with the big apartment, that white one, the White House, they put out 15, 20 bags right at the curbside, and then it's all torn apart the next day
And
before they
it's
get there.
literally trashy.
And then it blows all over Riverfront Park.
Yep, and I've cited them, but nothing I can do because the ordinance says they can go out there before 5 o'clock.
Yeah, but if they have litter left because it was blown away before collection, isn't that their responsibility?
I
Property
can't
owner?
prove it's their litter unless I see it go over there or it's got their name on it.
I see
I
it
have a
weekly,
solution.
bags torn apart.
Ring security
Oh.
cameras. Instant,
How about,
you get it
your
on
trash
your
has to be in
phone.
a barrel because that's what's the best for public safety, public health.
All right, let's take that up for consideration, trash bin.
So we're gonna buy them another trash
No,
barrel?
they want another trash barrel, they can buy it. But we wouldn't do that.
Well, that
We're-
house
we're gonna make
anyway
them-
is commercial, right?
There's more
I'd have
than,
to
yeah,
There's more than
there's
5,
more than 5 units. in
that
it.
big white building,
Right, then they'd have to have,
a dumpster.
well, container service.
You're talking the first one on Winter Street, on the right, heading.
It's not
Number
just
one
that
will
one,
do.
it's,
Yeah.
like I said, more people without their trash in carts.
But right now, our ordinance says 2 overflow bags we can take to the highway garage. This is saying 3. So what we're thinking about is getting rid of these bags.
What
They
we're
wanna
thinking
take
of-
them,
what
they
we're
wanna take them to the
Thinking
highway
about
garage.
is not limiting the number of purple bags that can be disposed of at the town garage.
I thought we already said, John, didn't you do the math one night and say,
Joe,
we're
the-
like making money on
Yeah, we make a
The
little bit of
bags.
money off of it,
basically like it's,
you know, with the bags and the trash.
Do you
Trash,
need
a
a
little bit of
decision from us on this?
Not tonight.
This is not a good, it's 5 after 9, I gotta
Okay,
get
well,
up
I
at
think we
4
did
o'clock
that, we
tomorrow
covered the
morning.
major stuff. the
But I
major
have one question.
Yeah.
Could you please go back with this? I do have a question.
Mhm,
All recyclables go in one cart.
mhm.
In the past, our recycle and Marge and Joe, when we first went into recycling, they taught us that our cardboard goes in with everything else. Now, what they're asking us to do is not mix the cardboard boxes with the rest of it. We have to put them in a separate place. When it comes to recycling day, then we put it on top of all of the other recycling. What's the difference? It's still going in the same bin.
Isn't that an option if
Because
you
you can
want to?
get more stuff in your cart.
If you want to consolidate space in your cart, then you'll do that. If you don't want to consolidate space in your cart, then you shove it
Oh,
on
I see.
your cart.
To consolidate, yep,
It's an option.
consolidate space, follow these simple steps.
Where do
Well,
you see that?
you flatten it anyway, right?
I
Says
do.
if you
I
want to
put it on
consolidate
my
space.
cart.
Some people
On my
don't.
cardboard.
That allows you
I
to
put it
fit.
on-
But like,
it
why
out
are we
and then
saying
put-
that?
Right.
Isn't
Just
that
giving them an option.
obvious?
Well, not to some.
It's a
Right.
lesson telling
They
people how
work
to make
among
more
us,
room in their
actually.
cart. Like they can't figure it out.
And no plastic bags, no plastic shopping bags, no, nothing in
Well,
there.
those aren't allowed anyway.
Well,
Right.
when it comes to the flyer, I think pertinent information should be on one page. If they want to have another page, tips, recycling tips, and you put that right on it, that's great, you know, like the recyclables and,
That particular page is almost identical to our most recent one now.
this one.
Yeah, this one right
Where's
here.
the thing
Okay.
with her?
I think if we look at, well, not so tired.
So black is, well, what about,
Just plastic garbage, yard waste, styrofoam.
So this is what you can do. This is what you can't.
Right.
And they already have that. They have that now.
So we
so
got,
week A collection is Monday and Tuesday. And week B collection is Wednesday and Thursday.
Just tell me when you're gonna roll it off.
Well, we'll be
You know,
able to do
no
it
matter what
next
happens,
week.
it's gonna be.
Just turn it off.
It's gonna be turned.
Just turn it off and tell them to call
And you
tomorrow.
cannot take it.
This is what they have now.
Well, I'm the third week of August. I was hoping this would all be done before I go.
Well, you can't go if it's not done. You know what? It's not done.
you have
They
some
can,
homework.
if you're on
You have
vacation,
homework,
they can
people.
call you.
Homework.
All right.
Any selectmen's report? Joyce, are you done? Did you save the worst for last?
I think I hit all the high points.
Where are we with Winnisquam Route 3?
I spoke to Bill Watson at DOT. He's up there, he knows our town. And I told him our plight, and I said, what's the best way to get this looked at? And he said, why don't you give it to me and I'll take it over to the Bureau right away. Those are the people that were gonna deal with it. And I didn't do it this week because I was too busy sending all the information to the other two engineers.
So am I assuming that means we're not gonna be paving that till next year?
I don't think we should until we know what we're doing. And
Well-
let them suffer.
If we don't own it,
It depends on how
and it's
quickly
not
we
ours,
can
it's
resolve
not our
that issue.
responsibility, we shouldn't be doing it.
No,
I'd say
but the Bureau right of way,
they'll
I'm
straighten
sure within a week or two, could give us, say, oh, there's no problem, you go ahead with your project, we're gonna sign it over to you. They don't want it. You think they
I
wanna
don't
pave
want,
it?
I don't want to buy it, I mean, the ownership of it, it's not ours, it's a mess, not unless they.
All right, so when you read that, read through our ordinance, because right now, the only thing you've ever voted to change was on definitions on commercial property. At the definitions, it ends after the word businesses.
We haven't voted to do any.
Yes, you
Oh.
did. You vote on changing this ordinance. you
No,
did.
no, I'm talking about the flyer you handed us. Are you all set?
I'll pull all the minutes, I'll pull the tapes, I'll verbatim transcribe the tapes. Remember I had Tony come in
Don't-
that last
don't
time? I
even-
said, Tony,
Don't do that, because
I
we can change our
want them
minds
to-
anyway.
Well, this is too big. This is too big.
All right, selectmen's reports, anybody?
This is too big.
I did-
It's our largest
I
line
have a
item in the
couple-
budget.
I have a couple of things.
What? Trash.
The fence up at the monument, do we have any other,
I have emailed him and he got the money to fix it, but the guy won't get back in touch with us. Maybe something happened to him.
have
Has he
we,
got our fence?
No, we have our fence.
has R&D responded to paving Ridge Road? So I think
He
that the
wouldn't
board,
respond to me, he'd respond to us.
Yeah. that's
Well,
like
he
Brock
hasn't
should do.
responded to Brock, so I think
We
it's time that,
haven't?
I think it's time that the Board of Selectmen send him a letter asking him definitively when our paving, our wear coat's gonna be put on. That was
Yep.
supposed to be put on in the spring.
Yep.
Here it is gonna be August next week.
Yes, and we have not paid him for that.
Regardless of whether he paved or not, would you agree that,
Yeah.
that Joyce should be sending him a letter? Okay, the other thing is, and this is a very volatile conversation, and I'm just putting it out there, and I don't want any comments.
Okay.
Huh?
We're on tape.
I don't care whether
Okay.
we're on tape or not, it is what it is. Friday evening at Movie in the Park, we were addressed by the tenant of Riverfront Place.
Tenant or property owner?
Tenant, and there were 21 vehicles enjoying movie in the dark, in the park, whatever you call it, and that could have been towed from Riverfront Place. And it was made very clear that they could have been towed, but there was an event on Saturday evening, and it said, you know, geez, if you can, I can have them towed right now, and so she talked with Corporal Henry and worked that out. But we have an event that's gonna happen 3 or 4 times, I don't know whether it's 3 or 4 times in the year now, that 200 or 300 people show up, and they use St. Mary's parking, and they use Riverfront Place, and they don't know whether or not to park at Riverfront Place or not, and they've used a handicap place. We should think about, you know, resurrecting some type of an agreement that we could come up with at Riverfront Place between the owner or the tenant.
And we've
Why-
tried over the years and it's never
Well,
been successful.
Let's pull them back in again, because, you know, to have 21 people in the middle of a movie, you know, and it was such a positive event.
The park commissioners made it very clear to Officer Henry that those participants could not park in Riverfront Place and they had to patrol it.
I thought the explorers were gonna assist
Right.
with the PD.
When
Well,
we-
first of
when
all,
the
we
park
only have a
commission-
couple explorers now,
Well,
because they all
then the officers
graduated.
need to, or they need to put up signs. When the park commissioners have events in the park, we go out and patrol it and tell people don't park here. You're parking here, if you park here, you're gonna get towed. This is private parking, it's not public parking.
Can we shuttle people?
We have only, there was only when they had the event, they had a lot of help, and they have activities going on for the children before the movie to keep them busy before the movie, and then you have a couple of officers that are doing, you know, juice and popcorn and all of that. To have other people down there trying to patrol that, I just think that it's way
We
beyond.
can't, the park commissioners talked to Officer Henry, explained to them that we can't give that business parking for Saturday night because no one will be able to use the park. And that's what happens, and the reciprocation is, and the original.
We don't have to give them exclusive. We
You
can-
only have what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 9 spaces?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, so and that's what they want. So you give those spaces away, well, who can use the park during their events? Nobody. You have mothers with kids, you have elderly people, where are they gonna park? At the post office and have to walk all the way over? They wanna have a barbecue or something? They can't enjoy the park. The original agreement.
What about Mill Street?
You want them to park all the way to Mill Street to use the park and have to walk all the way over there with their kids and their barbecuing stuff? The original agreement was, and was supposed to have been, that the reciprocation was that the park would be able to use Mill Street parking. Now we can use, the agreement was suggested we could use Mill Street parking when it wasn't being used, by the tenant that's now got exclusivity over the Mill Street parking.
Well,
I brought that,
what's
So
the
Friday-
reciprocity if we were allowed to use Mill Street for parking?
We would plow their sidewalk.
Per se?
the,
There was other strings too, as I recall.
That was the original agreement.
Okay.
I think that
And they
there's,
were, yeah, that was it.
my own opinion, I don't know what the answer is, I really don't, and that's what I'm trying to tell you. But I think that there's always a resolution to every problem. And I think if we have them in here to sit down and have a conversation, you know, and try to resolve an
You mean at
issue.
the park commissioners?
Whatever, park commissioners, board of selectmen, and the tenants,
It's under the-
fine.
We've given it to the control of the park commissioners. I'm just saying, we've been.
Yeah, let's get the park commissioners.
I've been 12,
We've got to sit down and talk
what,
about it.
12 years? 12 years.
But to have a,
2005.
to have
The park
community events
commissioners
like that,
in-
it's
Why
just.
can't we shuttle people?
Why can't they, like the park commissioners, monitor that parking space? It takes signage, it takes really one person and some signage to say, don't park here. Don't park here. They can park at the church, they can park at the old post office, they can park along Route 3.
It's just as far from the church as it is from the Mill Street parking to walk.
But they're not carrying barbecue grill, bit of stuff, and little
No,
kids.
But it's
and-
only
not
during
everybody's
events.
carrying a barbecue, and there's a drop-off spot. They can drop stuff off and then go park. I do it, I drop kayaks off and pick them up and
But it's only during
shuttle back and
events.
forth.
That, I mean, if somebody's bringing a barbecue, they
What I'm
can
saying
park
is,
in
why
the-
can't they do the same thing that the park commissioners have done for years? That's what we do, we monitor
I'm just thinking
it.
of an event that happens at night, and you have 200 or 300 people that are there in the evening, and if, it'd be a shame.
Christmas parade, we
To-
have
to-
every year at night. We monitor the parking at Riverfront Place.
Well, it would be a shame not to be allowed to park there.
Well, we haven't for
So,
all
And they're
these
willing to-
years.
so that
they're
means you
willing to have
don't
a
let
conversa-
people park at,
Riverfront Place, no.
I'm not
you
very
don't let
anywhere
them
with
park
this
there.
tonight.
And people don't get mad and say, what do you mean I can't park?
Some people choose to park there. They, the police were
I'm
there.
gonna make a motion to adjourn. We're not gonna go anywhere with this, and it's 9:20. I
All those in favor?
definitely would.
Aye.
So to answer your
Thanks.
question,
Aye.
we've had people park there. We've told them, if you park here, you're gonna get towed. Not gonna be long. Well, you're gonna get towed.
I did have one thing I forgot.
Oh, your hat, John.
Too late.